Hello, and welcome to another edition of Math, Music, and More. Today, obviously, we're going to be doing some stuff with music again, and there are a couple things that I want to go over. The first is the ability to use chromatic movement in the bass line of your harmonies, which I've always been very drawn to. And if you all love that too, not necessarily in the bass line, but sometimes in the middle voices, Brahms is an absolute genius in this. If you listen to pieces like Das Deutsche Requiem, etc. But anyway, back to the topic. Chromatic movements in the bass line, filling in the harmonies, and then there's a little bit of a surprise at the end. So let me just walk you through an example. We could start with something like an A natural, and then move to a G sharp, and then a G natural, and then an F sharp, and then an F natural, and then back to sort of the relative major, which would be C. And then we just kind of stack chords on top of that in the appropriate inversions so that it fits. So if we start with A, you always want to make it at least a 7 chord, I think, to keep it sounding cool, unless you're doing a suspend chord, but A minor 7 goes to its Dom 7, which is E Dom 7 with a third in the bass, the G sharp. And then you can go to a G major chord, or then E minor 7, whichever you prefer to call it. That E gives it a little more color as opposed to just playing a flat G chord. Keep the E in for the color and that sort of suspension from the prior chord. And then beautifully here we can go to a D Dom 7 or even Dom 9, keeping that E. And then resolving that to an F major 7 with that 7th in the top. So we're keeping that E almost throughout. In the first chord, it's the 5th. In the next chord, it's the root, but in the top voice. And the next chord is in the top again as the 6th, or a root if you consider it an E minor 7. And then you consider it the 9 in the D Dom 9 chord. And then in the F major 7, it's the 7th. So definitely experiment with those types of chromatical moves and how you can sort of stack and invert the chords to get them to work. And something that's very interesting about this is, didn't it sound like it could be a little jazzy? Like, I've never studied piano, so sorry if, again, I'm butchering things. I just have the theory, the harmonies in my ear. But anyway, I just picked that song up because, believe it or not, it's not a jazz song. What is it? It's International Love Song or something like that it's called, from Stone Temple Pilots. I'm telling you, if you go to even grunge rock, hard rock, alternative rock, whatever you want to call it, I'm not up on the lingo, there are some bands out there that are so brilliant. Listen to it. Figure out the chords, learn solfege. You'd be surprised at how much brilliance there is sometimes behind the distortion. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like, subscribe. I'm always open to questions and suggestions, and I look forward to the next round. Take care, everyone.